Junkie sang it.
Now
Junkie.
that song though.
Let me tell you though, Soca Junkie was done in a bedroom, buddy. A window here, and he make up, make close the window, and push up a cushion.
Wow, so perfect.
Yeah. Mattress. Push up there, and block out cars passing.
No way. But did you have any idea how big that song would have been? How far would it travel?
No, not. I was so fortunate then in that Santia Bradshaw and Pyramid Magic, and they were like, nah, deal. This song.
You gonna get
video. And Jay was like, yeah, boy. Well, right now I'm helping with the Barbados Football Association. I run the talent development. Well, it's a new FIFA initiative. After like 9-10 months in the program, we won the CFU, Caribbean Football Union Challenge Series. Only last year for real. So it's heading in the right direction, but again, still a lot of work to do.
Good evening, Mr. Deal.
Yeah. Good evening, my brother, the big selector Charles boss. I can call you that, right? You can select you check boss, you accept boss. If you accept boss, he's the boss.
My God, welcome to Stalwart.
Yeah.
This is the second Stalwart.
Wow.
To join Select the Stars UpClose.
Wow. Well, I feel honored, man, for real. It's a pleasure being here. Pleasure, hear about the interviews and get into it, man.
Sure, man. 2 times people Monarch.
3, sorry.
It's 3 times?
Just checking.
Oh,
3 times. 3 times people Monarch. Yeah.
But then you finals and semi-finals for Soca Monarch. I had a story history, man.
Yeah. It's been a journey, man. It's a good journey for me. Of course, like any career has its ups and downs, peaks and troughs, but you gotta take it. If you're in it, I mean, you really love this thing, you take the ups and the downs, and you hanging around. You got sometimes that you on top of the charts, and then sometimes you. But the important thing is just to remain consistent, and I think that's what you aim to do all the time.
Exactly, and you've done a good job to keep relevant.
Yeah, man, for real. Relevance is as an island by itself.
And of course, this year from Corporal, you released some good songs.
Yeah, man, respect.
Different genres, different styles.
Yeah, I think it's more like I tell you, I had a conversation with a young producer, and the man was like, "Wait, you do that? Wait, you do that too?"
I do that too.
What you saying else, boy?
But they don't know your history. You do
like,
reggae and things.
So it's like exactly. So I mean, like people like for me, it's more like a rediscovering deal, and it's something that I've done, like consciously trying to get back out there. You've gone through personal setbacks and that kind of thing. It's time now to like re-announce yourself. So that's what you're really doing right now.
Right. As I was telling you earlier, when I heard somebody on the radio, I was there listening to hear who the artist was. Waiting. Then when he mentioned Mr. Jelly, and I was like, wait.
Hold on tight and put your best wine for me, Lily. Mr. Right, he might never come. But right now, use the one, baby. Look at the two of me. When I go down, come back up, shook. Cause you're my somebody, and we had that chemistry.
Yeah.
It sounds like a modern version.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm really doing. I mean, let me tell you about this music thing, right? For me, an artist is an artist, and while you can remain true to certain things, you gotta see yourself as like change is constant. You know what I mean? You can't be like, nah, I would never sing that, or nah, I would never sing that, because you don't know where you're gonna end up. You know what I mean? In this life thing. So for me, it's about being a blank canvas and just taking in the vibes, and whatever the energy pushed me towards, I am pretty sure that God has given me the creative ability to do it, and that's how I approach life throughout. You know what I mean? So I mean, somebody is really that was just these. We would have had a conversation. I tell you, listen. I looking in the mouth, like, you know, man. Like, you looking for a song? I said, yeah, I need a different vibe. I need a different approach. You know what I mean? And it's along these lines, and this what you're looking at. I want it to be really slow and real groovy and sensual and things. I was like, wow, yeah. I know you could do that.
Just you were in the kitchen for you, boy.
Huh?
You were in the kitchen.
Well, I mean, yeah. Actually, the first thing he's saying to me, like, obviously he had his own, like, we made melodic changes. I would have added things, but the first hook kind of grabbed me was the chorus. I was like, that's it. Talking about it. Michael always give other things. I said, nah. I ain't want to hear nothing else. Let me go with that. That's it. So we would build on it. Right there, I would have added the chant at the top and, best wine. And get like a fresh vibe,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And still like, coming into the end. So our energies, we've worked together before, so our energy really come together. And I mean, now, like sometimes when you conceive something and then like the finished product ain't like 100% there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's be like, cha. But this was like say 99.9% of
Now you did the thing for
what
that
we
song.
wanted. You know what I
You
mean?
did the thing for that song.
So I feel good about it in that respect. All that's left now is for me really to take it to the world because in this soca thing is be disposable. I
Mm.
give for example, I believe in here like say I used to leave in times gone, I used to leave and go Boston Carnival, like say August, right? So from Boston I'll go Labor Day, that kind of thing. And it'll probably end up like probably October, Miami. And you're going through the airport and like customs people will be like, Mr. Bill, you're working for next year. I was like, yo, I know trying to get the world to hear this year. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's that kind of fast disposable thing. So right now, I trying to like more like introduce a different deal. So
Mhm.
but you can't really I found that in the past the game was a little different, whereas you could have gotten some things done on your own and then but now in this new social media dynamic
Mhm.
you need boom boom, you need dedicated
Constant.
yeah
You gotta be in people faces all the time.
24/7 like an ingrown earbud box. For real, you gotta be
It's true.
there. You gotta be present.
It's different.
It's real different. It changed. And for me, I like, it'd be more laid back,
Mhm.
private kind of guy. I ain't
Mhm.
really.
It's need after recharge.
Yeah. So you need opposite ends in a team working. Cause for
Mhm.
me, if it was up to me, it'd just be cool. All right, let the people like it and let the people hear it.
And you just create.
And people be like, nah, that don't work no more. That would make you an artist, but a
Mm.
struggling artist. So in order to rebuild that awareness, you gotta get out there. You gotta get out there. You know what I
Right.
mean? You really need to. The game has changed.
Mhm.
So that's the story behind somebody. It's really me announcing myself. Yeah, I'm still here. You know what I mean? And it has worked. Yes. I mean, to some people they will be like, this is one of my favorite songs for the season, but I
Mhm.
ain't heard enough, or that kind of way. But it's all a work in progress to
Right.
me because what I've learned through the years is that, for instance, okay, tempted to touch,
Classic.
turn me on.
Big one.
None of them were big ones in their respective countries.
Mm.
I mean, they weren't the major hits for that year. You
Mhm.
know, actually, I think "Turn Me On" happened like 3 years after it released.
Bro.
Yeah, so it's a process. What I could tell you is that what we trying to do, and by we I mean me and everybody working around, working with me, is like, yes, the world know you got the ability, but it's about packaging the thing properly now and really just like keeping a quality that was always synonymous with you, but
Mhm.
also showing that you could change and diversify and be a little bit modern because you don't. There were times gone where you hear a song, which is a good thing. You hear a song and I say, "Oh, that's Mr. Dale style," that kind of, yeah,
Mhm.
the big choruses and yeah, it's cool. Oh, we having a ball, everybody. It's a time for that. But sometimes too, whilst you have your identity as an artist and your style, you still got to be able to.
This is the evolution of Mr. Dale.
Exactly. There you go. That sounds like an
Okay.
album title. Yeah. I gotta talk to you more, B. Make a note there. Album title.
I know a little
Evolution
thing or
of
two
Mr.
about it,
Dale.
but I'm glad that you're giving into it. You're not fighting the
You
tide.
can't fight it, bro.
You're not fighting the tide
Fight the
anymore.
tide is drowned.
Mm.
Most people fight the tide is drowned. You gotta go with it, and you go with it, but you still have your presence. They got certain standards and qualities and ideals that you stand for.
Mm.
You got to stand firm there. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But You gotta understand what's going on around you and embrace it, because that's what's be longevity in the artist. You know what I mean? For
And I
real.
want to tap into your history as an artist too, because as I was saying earlier, you came from an era from the legends, man,
Man,
and you came all the way down to now the modern times.
yeah,
So how has that transition been now that we're in the era of streaming,
yeah.
video streaming music?
I tell you this. I watched something recently where it's either Jay Z or was Jay Z. Somebody was breaking down like it was Snoop.
Mm,
Snoop Dogg was saying, you know, I had so many millions of streams and I make like $10,000 from it.
yes.
That's Snoop. So I mean, I watching it, and what I could tell you in terms of exposure,
Mhm,
the streaming is good,
mhm,
and because of the emergence of technology, cool. I understand that, but and probably this might be the old school in me, but
We want to hear it.
I think that there's still an appeal. There's still something like especially touring artists would know what I'm talking about. When you out and you performing, right? People don't come to you like it's so much value in somebody come to you and you could give them a CD and sign it. You know what I mean? Or give
Mhm,
them some of your music and sign it.
yeah.
That's a sentimental. That's more. You just create it. You just work with a fan, as opposed to oh, there's my site. You can get me on Apple Music, and by the time they go home, the alcohol going through your sleep. Then everybody forget about that. You know what I mean? So there's not that I'm knocking it, but
It's a valid point, though.
you
The
got
tangibleness of the music
yes
industry has
for real.
disappeared.
It disappeared.
Yeah.
So fans are now flippant, you know what I mean? Here today, gone tomorrow.
Right.
And a lot of artists actually realizing this and moving towards other things outside of music.
Mm,
And sometimes you're like, yeah, you check my perfume line. I appreciate that, but at the end of the day, it's a
you
musician,
want to be creative at heart.
artist, artist. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So if that is my model, I gotta be prepared to change and alter, and still try to find ways to reach the people creatively.
Yeah, streaming is like a long-term strategy. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna get to where we were for another 10 years or so.
No, I don't even
But
think it's
but
10.
every year the streaming services obviously grow. Again, thousands and millions and
Yeah,
way
but
more
there are more
users.
artists. That's because there are more artists.
Mhm,
Because back then there were a set of gatekeepers, and
mm,
you only would be privy to music, a record deal if you
yeah,
got signed, and those kind of things. So
very
it's
true,
gatekeepers. But now technology kind of free up everything.
for
So
sure.
is you gain on one, you lose on the other. But at the end of the day, it's progress.
Mhm.
That's the price of progress. So you got, and it is what it is. I can tell you one thing: we ain't going back. You can't get away from it.
No,
So you gotta find ways to work with it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
everybody got a phone now.
yeah. Everybody, and the phone's smarter than nothing. So for real. So you gotta find ways to work with it. For me, it's finding a balance between an aggressive streaming or I would call it awareness,
Hmm.
right? Commercial awareness. Let me
Hmm.
call it that, right? You got to strike a balance between that commercial awareness and also like the intimacy, fan intimacy. You know what I mean? A fan will feel really good. Not just that you tell him, oh, I can find me on Apple, but if you can come and give him a Mr. Deal, like say a poster
Hmm. Or even come and shake your hand after
shake your
you
hand. Yeah,
perform.
yeah, of course, that
Yeah,
has value. That yeah, it's intrinsic. I mean, you can't really put a cost to that.
hmm.
But so you need a balance. You need
It's true.
both. You need stream. You need the modern technology, but you also need that personal touch.
I know I talk with the producing too.
Hmm.
Because that song that you want people's mind out with,
Which one?
Prison Break, that one.
Start the thing now, boy. Lord, I can't take no more of this stand home thing. I need to be outside partying. Oh, I have to break out of this prison. Demand my freedom, this no one.
I look at the credits and it's all produced by
Uh-huh.
Dale Rudder.
Oh, that's a long
Like,
story.
tell me about this now.
I tell you this.
Uh-huh.
Quiet as it's kept.
Hmm.
Most of the songs that I've done would have been conceptualized by me just
From
on guitar.
even
Yeah, that's
even
it.
musically.
Yeah, musically, yeah.
Sheesh.
But you work with people. I ain't a one man band. I ain't seeking all the credit. So you work with people and you work out deals and okay, this and you give people the necessary credit. Cause, but I worked on that one with Chris Allman, but we had some. Chris has been my like big brother. We work together. But, as with brothers,
Of
sometimes you
course.
agree, you disagree, and
Of
you
course.
agree to disagree.
Of course.
Respectfully, we always that's my brother in music. But there was for me, we had some creative differences in terms of where I wanted it to go
Mhm.
and where he wanted to go. Of course, in that time, it was 2022, 23,
2022.
2022, he would have wanted like a more modern thing. And I was like, yeah, but let's agree on the message because we just come out of COVID. It's 2-3 years, there's no crop over. And at that time, I found there was a movement towards like an older sound. You know what I mean?
At that point in time.
Yeah. So when I say older sound, let me just say a live sound. Just hold them and rock them. All them sounds were coming up then. So, I mean, I would have worked out the way we were going to go with it, worked out everything. So I said, look, you know what? Don't worry, man. You play some keys here, and I can sort out everything. I can arrange everything else. So I will produce the track. So.
Fantastic. So as you said, you produce a lot of your work.
Yeah. I would have like actually directed in terms of no, I want to hear this, play that, background vocals, everything. I mean, guitar strum, I want you to do this. It's because as an artist within the field, you get here, you know exactly what you want to hear. But it's not every instrument you could play. And then even if you could play, I could probably just play enough to find some chords for a melody. If I compose in a song, but I ain't gonna try to play on a record. You know what I mean? We gotta be real. I ain't gonna
But
try.
so guitar on stage, bro.
A little bit. I've done it a little bit, but not maybe going forward.
Right.
But and we're working on a band too, so definitely going forward. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah. There's a band in rehearsal all now as
Okay.
we speak. Yeah. So like I said, it's a you choose this thing. God gave you the talent. Move with it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, for real.
So I want to hear how Crop Over has evolved through the years from your perspective. What year did you start
Ooh,
officially on stage?
officially on stage was 96.
96.
I think it's 96. But my first like hit was 97. Not a hit. I say hit, but I guess
The song that took off.
I had a song called Soca Warriors, but then I did a remix of something called Kilele.
Kilele, 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 pam pam. Kilele, pam pam. Kilele, pam pam. This Afro calypso rhythm. Kilele, pam pam.
Yeah, which was that was my first like international hit. Right? Yeah. Kilele, 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 pam. Yeah. But that was one of my mentors, Foreigner Frank, the griot, that's my guy. We spoke only the day before, but he worked with a group back then called the Opels, right? Mitch Springer and them, a lot of legends. I mean, vocalists, right? And we used to really admire those songs. And I said, man, Frank, it'd be nice. He said, man, Rudder, you want to do it? Man, we could do it. And I was like, do it? He said, yeah. You want to do Overkill there? I said, what? If I want to do Overkill.
What an honor.
Yeah. So, up to this day, Frank and I, we really good. And, we, every once in a while, you call me and say, I like that song. Well, but you don't talk loud. Rudder, I like that song. So we good. But yeah, so we were just about finished the track, right? And the main reason it's happening, but I feel like it wants something. At that time, I was in a band called Storm. Was myself, Nigel Lewis, Marvin Lewis from Trinidad. Well, Marvin Lewis from Trinidad. Nigel was just a guest. But Marvin Lewis, myself, and Magnet Man. So
What year this was it?
Ooh.
Still in the 90s?
Yeah, late 90s, yeah. But man came on the song, right? Oh, I don't, no, we didn't have the band yet.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I wrong. You were correct. We didn't have the band yet, but Magnet was in the camp. He was in the Slam City camp, right? Yeah, he used to sing with a different group, but he had this voice, and at that time, the whole Shaggy vibe, and he had a big voice, a big chanting voice.
Yeah.
So he came on. So the man was like, "Man, we put Magnet on here. This could work," and the rest. And that tune took me to Guadeloupe, St. Lucia,
Wow.
Martinique, all the French territories, France. It just started to blow and blow and blow. And I was like, wow. Well, I shouldn't say to this day, but one of the biggest responses I've ever had on stage is through that song. But of
Wow.
course, Junkie came after, but with Kid Alea, I was like, wow.
Yeah, Junkie would have been the next decade.
Yeah. So, keeping it in decades. So somebody would be this decade then.
Yes. Do you remember in the studio singing Junkie, recording Junkie?
Yeah.
You remember those days?
Yeah, Junkie sang it.
Now
Junkie.
that song though.
Addicted to the party, and I hope it never done. Addicted to the whining, a woman Panama. Addicted to the jumping, flag in me hand and waving. I'm a soca junkie. Yeah.
Let me tell you though, because I came up thinking, you're into the production side of things that deep. So I thought, you're hearing all these things. Boy, hits got come in these big studios, come out of these big studios and these big speakers and this big setup and this big vocal booth. Nah, Soca Junkie was done in a bedroom, buddy.
Simple.
Sweet and simple. I mean, like, believe you me.
Wow.
And I mean, like, a window here, and the man go man close the window and push up a cushion.
Wow. So perfect.
Yeah, the man push up a cushion there. Yeah, for real. Actually, I say a cushion, but a bed, a form,
The mattress part.
a mattress. Sorry, let me talk. Just form, a mattress. Push up there and block out cars passing.
No way.
Yeah, swear to God, that's what happened. You could speak to
Jesus.
Indra, speak to Sean Lynn, the producer, Adrian Ashby, all them men play bass and come in. I mean, it's just one of them things. Rebel play guitar, and everybody that,
Tony Rebel.
yeah, and the
Jeez.
people that I worked with, it was like everybody kind of understood what I was going for.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, we had quite a few people, like, obviously you go to the greats first, but the bass that I was hearing in my head isn't what came to me, isn't what was submitted. So I tell Ashby, well, I want the bass player,
Well, you had a vision for this song.
Yeah, that's one that hit me from top to bottom. I mean, top to bottom. And in terms of, I wanted to challenge myself because in them times too, we had a lock rack, cocaine. So you call people junkies. So
Right.
to take the word junkie and turn it into something positive was another challenge to me too. So
Was that controversial at the time?
initially,
To
but
call it
then
that?
but then in the beginning, but then when everybody hold on to it, that's a good thing.
Okay.
Music junkie is a good thing. A
Right.
soca junkie is even better. So is that kind of proof to me. You know what? Sometimes it's just about the energy
Mhm.
with the vibe and the vibe with the music, because the big studio, the big,
That's incredible. Like at that time, I know you had a vision, but did you have any idea how big that song would have been? How far would it travel?
No, not at all. You just don't got no idea. You just know that I want to do something different, and this is how I hearing it. I was hearing it in my head, and Sean's like, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah, that's like that's exactly how I want it." And I mean, Sean, of course, Sean was more musically trained.
Mhm.
He was one of the best trumpeters in the island, and we all worked with Ammon at that time,
Mhm.
the Ammon band there. So it's like this thing was in my head for a long time, and we were driving. I said, "Listen, boss man, I got production." Well, you were kind of give me the songs. I thought. I said, "Listen, I got a song
Mhm.
in my head."
In the head too.
That's what I told him.
Ever written it?
I had a song in my head, but I knew the title.
Yeah.
Before anything, I knew I wanted to say, "I am a soca junkie." That's all I wanted to say. That was it. But the rest came. Everything else just boom, 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 boom. and it didn't take 15, 20 minutes to write. Swear to God, it didn't take that
That was
long.
incredible.
Yeah, it's one of them things. It's got moments where, all right, this is truth happening through music. It's one of them things. So, and I mean, you learn from it. And the one thing I've learned is that as a creative, if you're studying commercial and all that, yeah, I had commercial success with it. But as a
Mhm.
creative, don't go back trying to find that.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't do that to the song.
for
Leave
sure.
it. Let it live. But try to keep that as the standard bearer.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So in terms of well-produced vocals, catchy hooks, that kind of thing. And
Creative music video.
yeah, the music video.
Will from Jamaica,
Oh, you
legend,
remember J. Will? But what
legendary
happened?
actor.
I was so fortunate then in that Santia Bradshaw, and Pyramid
Mhm.
Management,
Royal,
Roll and them.
my guy.
At that time, I was working with them,
Mm.
and they were like, "Nah, deal, this song,
You gonna get a
gotta
video?
get a video.
Jeez.
You must have a video for this." And I mean, bam, Santia, they made some calls, and J. Will was like, "Yeah, boy." But I tell you this, the one thing about Junkie, right?
Mhm.
And my good brethren statement said to me just the other day, he was like, imagine that song coming when they had Instagram.
Listen, when I was 16 when that song came
There
out,
you go.
that
So
was the biggest song in school, boy.
of course that was like that.
Yo,
There was like 4 years, five
yeah,
years that everywhere I go I had to sing that song
yeah.
repeatedly. I did a show in Sweden. Me and Big E, we did a show in Water Festival.
Mhm.
We were like, I mean, and that's probably the biggest response you've gotten as an artist. But I mean, scores of, I want to millions, thousands of people,
Mhm.
and it's like, like they know this song for years. You know what I mean? So you look at those kind of things and you say, you know what, music is magic,
Mhm.
but it will find you. You stay the course, and things will come.
Mhm.
And I mean, since then, I've had, there's been one of the songs that really, really, I mean, it's got some songs that the people take, like Drop It was one of them songs.
Mhm.
That would have followed Junkie.
And it's just the way we just drop it, and walk it, drop it, and walk it. Festival again, it is me time.
Drop It was a song that, again, me and Chris had battles with that too. But he won this time. He won for real because I was
He
real.
was right.
Yeah, he was right.
He was
But I
right.
real picky with bass because don't care if you do or say, drums, rhythm, and bass is a run thing.
Mm.
I don't care if you do how
The
pretty
secret
you sing
ingredient.
it. Yeah. And Chris he sent me a few bass and he's like, nah, that ain't making it. Nah, Chris, nah, that ain't making it. And then he called me and said, there's it no though. He asked me.
He got it.
He said, yeah, brother, there's it no though. I was like, shoot, boy. Yeah. This like is it for true. I didn't admit at first. I was like, boy, this could be it for true, yeah. Just so, and then like, bam, it's like everything. It just happened. And again, like I said, that's not because you go chasing things, but because
Mm.
you stick to a set of principles. You know what I mean? You always look for quality. Um, I got a reputation of being hard in the studio, but I'd be hard on myself too. So if you're working with me, it can be hard. It can be a challenge because I find now, especially with the technology, a lot of people like to come in studio, bam, 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 bam. Oh, don't worry, fix it in auto tuner. I really know that. I ain't big on that. If you can, okay, let's do a couple takes. Even if you do it right, let's do a couple takes, and then, because you could always improve. I mean, sometimes you get one take. Sometimes the best take is the first one. But don't adopt the attitude like, man, we come in studio to get out the studio. Music ain't gonna reward you like that. You know what I mean? Make
It's good for
sure.
you to tell young producers that too.
Yeah, man. But I mean, they will learn in time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I still here, right? So they will learn in time.
Right.
You know, and Foreigner Frank used to tell me, brother, remember, you don't get a second chance to make a first release.
Mm.
I was like, what the hell? That's true, boy. For real, that's true. You don't get a second chance. So a first release,
Mm.
make it right, spend the time, and we used to do crazy hours in them studios there. Crazy
That's
hours.
the one thing that I wish was still a presence in the current era.
Hmm.
Because Buju Banton, when he was speaking back in the day, they couldn't like cut songs back in the day. Sometimes they had to do the whole song. And
Yeah,
if you make a mistake, you gotta start over.
yeah. I remember in that
So
tape
they
times with
trained you.
Chris, that tape before the whole computer thing,
Yeah, before the computers.
you had to had to sing every line,
Yeah.
every
To me, that's
single
what
line.
separates that era from
Yeah.
this era now.
And then he would take, it wasn't no flying, he fly down here,
Right.
fly down there. So you had to sing down the song, sing down. So, I mean, that has given you, like, what that do, it really give you, like, give the strength, you know what I mean? The understanding that music is, whilst it could be very, very great, we got to put in the time, we got to put in the work. You know what I mean? I watch, I remember an interview with Prince, and he was like, I sing though. He was like real cocky, like, yeah,
Mhm.
everything will be sung.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of way. But and it's true. That to me, that's the only way. That's the way I know.
Mhm.
Some people could come in and do an album, mumble or whatever style, whatever, do it in a weekend. But everything is not like that. You know. But
Well, I can say this: if somebody is a indication of your direction,
mhm.
it's a solid direction. I get excited to see where you can go next deal.
Yeah, man, for real. Me too. I
But
excited.
you come here to end this here. You come here in this tracksuit.
Oh, there's another side of me.
So I know you're involved in sports, but you're telling me it's more than just football now.
Yeah, man. I was a two-sport national. I would have played table tennis
Table tennis too.
yeah, for the country as well as football. As a team, that's my team.
Are you the
Pre
you
music,
the real athlete
I
though?
was an athlete. Yeah, real athlete. Run track.
Still seem to be.
Sorry.
Still seem to be.
Um, from this size, probably not, but aspiring. But yeah, I still involved. I still work with right now I'm helping with the Barbados Football Association. I
Right.
run the talent development. It's a new FIFA initiative, but I working with them right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah. With it mainly targets youth like from age 12 to 17.
Hmm.
You know, which is a key developmental part that we didn't used to pay enough um, attention to
Hmm.
in an athlete's development because you know, and I went through this too, and you would know, Danny. I mean, by the time you get 14, 15, you're mad and CXC boy, time to study. You know how it goes, and that's our environment here. But what we're trying to do is to develop holistic young athletes. You know what I mean? And it has paid it's already rewarded us so far because after like 9, 10 months in the program, we won the Caribbean Junior CFU Caribbean Football Union
Excellent.
Challenge
Congrats.
Series
Congrats.
only last year for real. So it's heading in the right direction, but again, still a lot of work to do. Still a
Man, so
lot of work
your
to do.
toes in a lot of pots, boy.
Man, I didn't go that far. I ain't cut toes, but I ain't putting my toes in the pot. But I got you, bro. But yeah, man, for me, there's my way of giving back. That's how I look at life.
Right.
You get blessed with certain things, and it's time, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it to
Mhm.
me. So that's my give back. I serve, well, it's all voluntary. I serve as the president of the Barbados Table Tennis Association for 4 years. You know, I still play, I still help youngsters there. But you know, you can't do too much. So I can't deal with music, football, and tennis too.
Hmm.
Not on a leadership basis, you
Right.
know. No, that would be you're spreading yourself too thin. And because of, like I said earlier, like the things I would have gone through personally, you know, within recent years, you know, you start to zero in. So right now it's just, I mean, of course, football is my love, you know, but it's music, music. I gotta get back on track, you know. So that's what
I love that. I have to get back on track.
happening.
That's the perfect way to end it.
Yeah, man, respect,
So, Mr. Deal, thanks for joining us on UpClose.
respect. Always a pleasure, my brother.
And
Always a
everybody can
pleasure.
stream somebody
Somebody,
on
yeah,
Selected, music video on YouTube.
yeah, man. And some surprises coming for somebody too. Yeah.
Ah,
Don't think somebody ain't done. Trust me, ain't done, ain't
okay.
done. Only just begun. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for real.
Mr. Delio.
Yeah. Out and bad.
Mhm.